And to the top left of Entombed Valley with cross position, we have Polt in the red. Our TSL player was able to tie the series on dual side, and now we have him on the third map facing his opponent Sound. And map number 3, which is Entombed, to the bottom right in the blue, our StarTale player. This is StarTale Sound. Very nice timing attack on Metropolis. He was able to take the lead in the best of 3, but now it is tied up and we have the final match between the two of them.
Yeah, this is a tense moment, you know, in this best of 3. Where it just got a little bit less tense because Killer walked in the room. And
yeah, Killer just entered the house and is looking sexy as usual. He will fight the next map and is just standing there laughing.
Yeah, and he's giving us a smile. I'm really looking forward to Killer's games today. Definitely been improving a lot. Joined Complexity, has a completely different environment to train in now. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what he's going to do here today. But, you know, as I was mentioning, the atmosphere in this game is tense. Both Polt and Sound one game away. Polt trying to redeem himself after losing the TVT at DreamHack at the finals. Sound really trying to make a name for himself. He's a good player. Everybody in Korea knows it, but he's like, you know what? Why am I not doing well in the individual league? I got to prove myself here.
Yeah, he did good at home Story Cup, but still.
Yeah, that is very true. That's basically been his only real performance in individual leagues that I can think of.
He didn't attend too many offline tournaments as far as I know. He, well, at Home Story Cup, didn't he finish? I think he finished 4th. Yeah, I don't know exactly, but I think it was 4th
I think you're right.
So we don't have gas. We don't have gas for neither one of them, so it looks like we will start with the barracks into expansion play once more. In Entombed Valley you can also start with the Banshee play, with a little bit of tech. We've seen this in the past in TVT, but both of them just relying once more on the same builds that they used in the last game.
Faster scout again from Sound for the 3rd game in a row. Will Polt make his commands on the high ground? Yeah, he's doing it again. Yeah, you get a little bit of extra money from not scouting, but being forced to make the command center on the high ground makes things not necessarily worth it. And he does get in here and get a scout off, checks for the command center, and now he's got to be going, I can make my command center on low ground. I wish I knew. His SV will get away though. Very nice. Killer is actually doing some stretches next to us right now. He looks like he's about to run
a 100 meter That is dash. Really weird now. I've seen players going for a warm-up, but usually it means that they are going to play some games. But Killer is actually standing there, like, stretching like crazy.
He's probably about to do some jumping jacks, man.
He's just trying to show off his body.
He wants everyone in the studio to know.
I'm afraid that he's going to hit me.
I'm a little bit nervous, too. You know, his English is actually pretty good. He knows what we're talking about.
Exactly, and he sneaked behind us, so...
Don't worry, Caldor.
Wolf, if I suddenly stop speaking... you protect me, okay. Okay, I'm so happy now, guys. I feel a lot safer.
Good, excellent. Double gas is now going down for Sound, who's going double barracks again.
Yeah, Polt was a little bit faster with this gas, so he has his tech a bit earlier. Sound very, very late with his 2 refineries. Polt is already mining for quite a while and started his factory, while Sound didn't even finish his 2 refineries.
Yeah, so he's basically... since Polt is kind of playing in the dark a little bit more than his opponent, in some ways, I think he wants to make sure he gets that factory up so he can deal with possible double gas Banshee play that comes out pretty quick. It's not something you see very often, but it is something that we even saw last game. Cloak got cancelled, things went differently or rather the first game, Cloak got cancelled, things like that. But that's something you can face even when both players go for that 1 Rax expand. Now, we do see Stim going down here for Polt, and his factory is finishing up right now. Since he's gone double barracks with this, he is very likely to go into very Polt-esque marine tank play. Very much what everyone expects to see from Polt. And it's kind of his weakness. I really have to stress, I think he needs to adapt and learn more styles, or at least use more styles every now and then in big tournaments like this, because right now that's something he's just not doing.
We saw a drop play by Polt in the last game. He tried to put aggression on Sound, and this with the fast attack that he has now, this is exactly something that we might see in this map as well. Just him trying to drop his opponent before we have any kind of sensor towers in the picture.
Yep. This game is developing in such a way that basically is identical to how it was last game, with Sound going for the 3 barracks, Polt going for the faster tanks. And the question is, will we see Polt get that faster 3rd command center up again? Because this map is very different. than dual sight in that it's even easier to take your third on this map. As long as you can get those rocks down and get ready to defend it, it's much more comfortable to take a third base in this matchup on this map. And most matchups, in fact, on this map, no matter what race you are, except Zerg.
With the start position that we have, the push distance is just so huge. It takes ages until you are at your opponent's main base. This is also one of the reasons why this is a very, very passive match right now.
Yeah, very good point. The music, man, it's just...
it's throwing you off track, isn't it?
I feel like I need to put a quarter into the jukebox or something. Just get this going.
So great. Just think about it. Wolf, do you have a quarter?
I do have an OPEC one in my pocket, but I don't have a quarter. But I could maybe go into the production room and put my phone on there and be like, put Wolf's music on.
Maybe we have to pay Legend now that he plays some music.
Maybe so. Well, this drop could potentially do some damage because this time Sound is moving out. Last time we saw him completely shut down with his very fast stim drop. Look at that stim finishing right now. Very nice timing by Polt, and he is ripping these SCVs to shreds. He's thinking about getting out because he's like, well, there should be a bunch of units coming to defend, but there just, quite frankly, is not. He forces a cancel on the starport.
And this is exactly what we talked about, his early attack, his ability to just drop his opponent when we don't even have Medivacs out there for Sound. He doesn't even have a starport. He is so far behind in his tech. He was focusing on his minerals and on his defense a lot more in the early game, and Polt in a great position. As you said, he did some damage here, and he retreated, didn't lose a single Marine, killed a building as well, forced the cancel. Very well done.
This is pretty awesome by Sound. He's trying to catch and trap Polt's medevac. That is so cool. I really like that. He's going to find it now. Will Polt be able to save it? He's going to lose a little bit here, losing 2 Marines minimum.
Oh, and he chases the medevac right into the arms of the rest of his Marines.
You know, though, with that stim used there, that was a pretty big commitment. He's desperately trying to save it. He, like, actually did everything. He couldn't save it, though. Sorry, Polt. Didn't work out for you, but a great move by Sound. He was already out on the map. He said, you know what? I'll try to catch it.
Polt really cares for his Marines. He's a good commander. He's a really good commander.
He's the one that they'll respect at the end of the day.
Exactly. He's putting in the extra effort.
He's not the kind of guy to drop Marines one at a time on top of banelings to minimize the cost efficiency.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't do that. He just goes in right when his stim finishes, kills some add-ons. He's like, not sure. He keeps trying to decide if he wants to leave with his Marines before the Marines are even in his opponent's main base. Great commander. Commander
exactly.
Polt.
He's way too nice, though.
Yeah, he's got it. I mean, these are war times, man. Did you read Ender's Game?
I read it. I listened to the audiobook. I loved it.
Oh, man. Well, we'll talk about this later. I don't want to spoil anything. I can't wait for that movie, by the way. I heard Harrison
There's a movie?
The movie's coming out soon, man. Harrison Ford's in it.
Oh, my God. Ender's Game, I loved it.
It is so great. If you guys haven't read Ender's Game, you're looking for a book to read, I highly recommend it. One of the best
books out there. I usually don't like science fiction books all that much because I think a lot of them are really rubbish.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but a lot.
I agree 100%.
A lot of stuff that you can get, but Ender's Game is amazing.
Definitely got a lot of power in it. There's a lot more than just science fiction in that book.
Ender's Shadow as well.
Yeah, I never read the sequels. It's something Dan Artosis actually told me I need to do.
Oh, you need to read Ender's Shadow. The other ones, they are so-so. Some of them are good, some of them are not really all that great, but Ender's Shadow is amazing. It's basically the same story again, but through the perspective of Bean. Which clears up a lot of questions as well, so it's really interesting.
That's really interesting. Okay. Well, I'll be doing that.
We get a little bit sidetracked here. Sorry guys, but as you can see, we did not have any engagements or anything like it. We just have both of them trying to be in the position that they can dominate the late game. We have the third base not only for Polt, but Sound is now getting his third command center a bit later than his opponent. The economy for Polt is well established at 67 SCVs against 58. A bit of an engagement in the middle of the map, but nothing too great.
Not enough siege tanks here for Sound to commit. And even though he's actually gonna try here, his upgrades are not finished yet. He does have 1-1 versus just +1 for Polt.
Yep.
But the siege tank count is just a little bit too high for him to engage. There's like a mathematical ratio of how many siege tanks you need to beat your opponent who has better Marines and better upgrades than you. And Polt has crossed that line, and so Sound has to turn around here.
We have a slight advantage in supply for Polt as well, who is now just trying to catch up in upgrades, but Sound is already ahead of him, going for the double upgrades, whereas Polt still is missing there's the +2 armor upgrade, but he has only 1 engineering. Cancels the armor upgrade, And he's a little bit indecisive here. Starts the armor upgrade, cancels it again, starts with the attack upgrade, and then starts the armor upgrade in the second engineering.
Yeah, a little bit of indecisiveness there. He is behind in upgrades for his siege tanks as well.
Yeah.
As something that Sound is about to have. Oh, this is the best possible scenario for Sound, but he doesn't use it.
He's getting both his upgrades just in time for this engagement. +2 attack for the bio units to finish. And now he has a huge
Oh, this is great for him. He's coming in while the tanks are unsieged.
Taking down most of them. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them just dying. A fifth one as well. All of them. Takes down every single tank. And suddenly we have Sound with a 5-2 tank lead.
You know, we saw this in last game as well, though. There comes a time where no matter how well you engage, Polt just has too much sometimes. Even though that was the best possible engagement for him there, Polt just had too much stuff. He actually lost the battle, but still may potentially win the war here. The supply deficit about the same as it was before, but the upgrade advantage is still taking. +3 is now on the way for Sound. He's going to get +3 armor very soon afterwards as well. Polt is making 2 command centers right now because he knows he's got map control. He knows his opponent's ahead in upgrades. He wants to buy time, catch up in siege tank count, catch up in upgrades. And he's just going to continue to engage his opponent, or at least try to force engagements to buy that time that he needs.
This is a great CVT, and in the middle of the map, both of them just sieging up. Polt losing another siege tank. And as mentioned, he is behind in the tank count, 5-9. Sound still in the favor here. +3 attack has been started. Wolf just mentioned it. No +3 armor upgrade so far. And once again, Sound poking a little bit, trying to catch a few tanks off guard, forcing Polt to siege up once again. And Polt is taking his 4th now. He's taking his 4th and is rallying a few more units towards the middle. He really wants to crush this. He's maxed out at this point with 123 army supply against 110.
Yeah, this is...
And Polt is finishing his upgrades. He will be on the same upgrade amount of upgrades as Sound in just a few seconds.
Yeah, basically Sound will have that +3 weapons advantage over him with a small timing window, but a very small one. And the Marine count right now is 78 for Polt to 60 of Sound, but it's 12-9 in siege tanks in Sound's favor. So this game is actually so even with their unit compositions that it's hard to say who will win the fight. It's all going to come down to micro and who catches the other person more off guard, who surprises the other one more. The medevac count right now 9-5 in Polt's favor as well, so he does have the ability to re-heal his units a little bit faster, which is why he can afford to do things like this, stim all of his Marines and kill a command center.
It was so important. Denying the 4th was so important, and Polt also started the +2 attack upgrade for his tanks. But Sound drops. Sound is actually dropping. We don't have it on screen right now. He's dropping at the 4th base of his opponent. Another engagement in the middle of the map where Sound with the rest of his army is just trying to run by and attack the 3rd.
We are going to have a base trade. And Sound is not wasting any time. He's already at Polt's base. And Polt, you know, may have the better army here, but as far as how far the destruction has gone, Sound is in the lead.
Both of them now at roughly 140 supply. Sound and Polt going for the base raid scenario. They have the same amount of supply.
Polt's army supply, though, a little bit higher, 92-71. If they do have to fight each other head-to-head, Polt will win that fight, most likely. As far as upgrades go, though, Polt's upgrades are not done, and if he gets in and kills those eBays, that could be potentially important as well.
None of those upgrades are done at this point, but yeah, we have a siege tank in the main base of Polt. He's trying to get more in the picture to be able to defend it, but I don't think it's going to happen. There's just too many Marines and tanks for Sound.
But I like that Polt is splitting up his units, actually, to kill Sound's base, whereas Sound is kind of consolidating himself, and even though this is not going to be enough to defend, it's going to make him cost-inefficiently fight here.
Polt is still mining.
Yeah.
Polt is still mining at this point.
Oh man, he may actually be able to break out here. Nah, not quite. There's too many siege tanks on the low ground.
Yeah, too many siege tanks. The Marines are already gone. Now the production buildings are going down. The army supply, though, 83 against 61 in favor of Polt.
Polt is still mining, but so is Sound at his 3rd base, and this game is a little bit out of control. Both players basically starting to bank up some money, but they don't have really any production. But look at this Polt, even with a plant. Look at that planetary positioning there. It's going to be really hard to run that down and kill it. The same, though, can be said of Sound's 3rd base, as we are getting a shot up here. The army supply right now is 80 to 60 in Polt's favor. Polt, though, his engineering bays stayed alive. That is something that is not the case for Sound, who I believe is at 3-2 now.
And will these upgrades actually finish? This is going to be very, very close.
Oh my god.
Yes,
oh, they finished.
Yes, they finished. And now he has a huge advantage.
Yeah, it's 3-3 against 3-2. The difference being the armor, which is so important, especially when there are this many siege tanks out on the map.
I think he has the +2 attack upgrade for his siege tanks as well. Yes, he does.
Yeah.
So he has another upgraded advantage, and in this scenario, this is so important.
And Polt even was able to safely get back to his base, and he's going to be able to potentially trap these units now in his old expansion. This is looking really good for Polt as his production has been restarted at his, I guess you could say, 4th base, but now second mining base.
He has 2 mining bases at this point. 2 mining bases against 1.
A ton of command centers to build up his SCV count, which at this point is 5 below his opponent, 25 to 30, but he can make 3 at a time right now. In fact, 4 at a time. He has 4 command centers, 2 of them orbitals, 2 planetaries. It's a weird situation that we're in right now, but Polt definitely in the lead. Yeah. And again, he's got his opponent trapped. His army cannot move out. It's going to get worse and worse from here.
Oh, trying to catch the 2s of them. Nice. Dropping into the low ground.
Oh, this is great by Polt. Very map aware. Using that scan. Coming in here to try to trap these units. He knows if he can get this, it's checkmate. And it looks like he will get it. Better upgrades on his Marines. Stutter stepping forward.
Oh, the Medivacs. Siege tanks, Medivacs, and Marines all gone, and Sound down to 60 supply against 120.
Look at that army supply. Triple the army supply, 96 to 32, literally triple. And this is just unwinnable now for Sound. He's got that base over there that Polt doesn't know about but doesn't care about. And he's actually moving out right now with those units. I have no idea why.
I don't think he can.
GG.
There's a GG. He knows that there's no chance of him taking this game anymore.
No chance at all, and so far, Polt and Creator now both advancing 2-1. Polt looking pretty strong against Sound, but showing some weaknesses as well. His upgrades seem to be consistently behind, but his map control, map awareness was definitely what won him the series.
And our next game is going to be Killer versus Sting. Yep. So yeah, Polt is actually reaching the next round, while Sound is now down to Code B. He did well.
Yeah, he did very well indeed. Well, guys, we're going to have a 5-minute break before we come back to Killer and Sting, so don't go anywhere. We'll see you in 5.
Amen, we made it this far.